Chicago in the house, hey, Chicago. And I was like, God, everybody from Chicago tonight. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with your no frills, the voice commentary from a singer. And we are back for one more week of blind auditions. It's going to be 2 days, really, but you know, this is the last week of the blind auditions. And we are really getting there. It is the 5th night with the coaches Jennifer Hudson, Miley Cyrus, Shelton and Adam Levine. The teams are looking good so far. There's a lot of people. And tonight there was a lot of Chicago. Chicago represent! Chicago is representing in the house tonight. Do you have any favorites so far that you think are going to win the show or even make it to the finale? Let me know down in the comments. We started the show tonight with Kohanski. She was 23. She did The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. And does she remind anyone else of Drew Barrymore? Is that just me? Anyway, she had an interesting vocal production as she started this out, keeping it really dark and round, then open it up a bit as she got through the song. Blake was singing along, and I liked her vibe, her sound, and her look, and she was feeling those lyrics. Blake and Miley turned when she hit the big note, and then so did JHud, and she amped up the intensity with so much emotion in her eyes. I was just feeling it. I was like, go ahead on and perform for him, girl. Blake said he loved her lower register, but really loved when her voice started to crack and shred. JHud called her vibe so cool and said she saw a superstar and talked about her sass. And Chloe chose Miley because she said she's obsessed with her. She said she may even have a crush on her. All right, go ahead on. Next we had Olivia K. She was 13. She did Ghost by Henderson. And her nerves were really getting the best of her as she started this out. Very shaky, and she was lacking focus, but she kind of started getting it on track as she got into her higher range, so it was a lot better. But as she came back down into her lower range again, it was very shaky, and she wasn't quite getting into the meat of the sound of what was going on. I loved her fierceness though, but no coach's term. Adam told her to harness the gritty, raspy part of her voice. Blake told her that the only thing she needs is a chance to be able to control her voice. Then there was Drummond. He was 27. He did She Talks to Angels by the Black Crows, and he plays guitar in Adam Wakefield's band. Remember Adam Wakefield made it all the way to the finale? In Nashville, they play together, and he is 6'8". I mean, that's worth noting. He came out with his guitar and started mumbling through the words a little bit, and Adam turned for him right away, Adam Levine. I liked his tone and the growl he gave to some of the notes, but sometimes he was kind of overcompensating, giving a little too much growl. I think maybe because he didn't feel like he had that note clean and clear, and he seemed to be struggling in places. He had such a nice mid-range that was smooth and sweet, and I was liking when his voice was living there. Blake turned for him also, and Marty said there was a little work to do on the stability in his voice. Adam told him he was singing the song his way and it was really cool. Blake talked about the things he loved about his deep, solid rock and roll voice, and Dennis chose Blake because he thinks Blake can teach him a lot about country music. And if you think Blake that's not even gonna work, please thumb up the commentary and let me know that you are watching, that you are here, that you are engaged, and that you appreciate what's going on over here at Robert Anton Productions, like JHud Productions, Robert Anton Productions. I thank you guys for watching. I thank you for your comments, and I thank you for your thumbs. Next up was Ignatious Carmouche. He was 23. He did Latch by Disclosure. And he's the voice on Snapchat winner. And I've been waiting for him to sing, like really. And he's also an ordained minister. So he approached this really simply with a great tone and tapping into the emotions and the lyrics. There was a very sweet spot in his voice as he went up through his range. And then he hit this falsetto note, and it was so strong and clear, he had like my teeth were chattering. Miley called it beautiful. JHud turned for him, and then so did Blake. And that really high pitch he hit almost rattled my teeth out of my head. I was like, oh God. But it was really nice. It was just so clean and clear. I thought it might bust out the windows. Adam told him the right choice is JHud. JHud said she felt like he was singing to her heart and told him he almost sounds like a saxophone with words. Blake called his full voice incredible, but told him his clear, pitch-perfect falsetto was like listening to a record. And Ignatious chose JHud. Next up was Rebecca Brunner. She was 22. She did Believer by Imagine Dragons. And this song had me bopping with her as she started out, and she had such a nice smoky tone in her lower range. Then she was having a little challenge with the quick pace of the lyrics and went into the chorus with less air than she needed, so she was kind of straining up there. I liked the tones in her voice, but was wondering if this was the right song choice for her, and Blake turned at the absolute last second kind of saved her. And Blake told her that what she did was freaking hard. So she's on Team Blake. Brandon Brown was up next. He was 19. He did Georgia. Yes, he did, by Ray Charles. I was like, 19 doing Georgia? You better go ahead on, boy. Love this song. And Adam had chimed in before he got to the second lyric line. He had such a youthful voice and smoothed his way into his falsetto, but also didn't have a problem wailing at the upper notes and pulling off a few solid riffs. Blake and JHud also turned for him as he finished off on a riff. And Adam said he sang the song with subtlety and soul. Blake said he hears some Willie Nelson in there. JHud said she hears some Donny Hathaway in his voice. Then she called out Blake and Adam for the things that they were going to do to try to convince him. It was very cute. She had a PowerPoint presentation and everything. And Brandon chose Adam because he feels like he'll pull him out of his comfort zone. Next up was Nathan Graham. He was 27. He did Nobody to Blame by Chris Stapleton. And he came out with his guitar, and there was a little disconnect in the sound to my ears as soon as he started. The guitar was overshadowing his voice. Though I could hear he had a decent vocal production, I wasn't really hearing if it was great or not. He gave a big wail at the end and had some gruff going on, but no coach's turn for him. Blake said there were parts of the song that overtook the tone of his voice. Miley said she couldn't hear him sing enough because of the growl in his voice, but said that he made the song his own. Whitney Fenimore came out. She was 28. She did Hold On, We're Going Home by Drake. And this was an interesting song choice. And she brought out her guitar and immediately had such a beautiful tone. Such a high ring with a little smoke and the fall off. I mean, I was just like, wow, this is great. I was loving the arrangement, very interesting, worked well with her style. Adam and Miley turned for her halfway through. And Miley touted her all-female team, but told her she sounds a little bit of rock, but had a crossover voice. Adam talked about Christina Grimmie being the original to do this arrangement and called her a strong and powerful singer. JHud called her voice very unique, and Whitney chose Adam because he's one of her favorite artists. Next up was Ileana Viramonte. She was 18. She did New Soul by El Naim, and such a clear, crisp tone and whimsical performance. She had a bit of an accent, and this just flowed. The song just flowed. There were places where I wish she had sang the notes a little less affected, but I was enjoying her way of performing. Blake and Miley looked at each other and they turned at the same time. Blake told her that he loves her voice and told her that he knew she had to be smiling the way she navigated the notes with perfect pitch. Miley told her some songs she'd like to do with her on the show, and Ileana chose Miley for her coach. Then we had a montage with Katrina Rose going to Team Miley, Natalie Stovall going to Team Blake, and Ryan Scripps going to Team Blake. Then Megan McNeil, she was 31, she did I Can't Feel My Face When Not by The Weeknd, but very, very different. I loved when she said in her package, either you win or you learn. You never lose. Great way to think of things. She approached this with a fullness that was unusual for the song, and I was liking the sound, though I felt like it was a little choppy in places before she got to the chorus. But when she hit that chorus, it was really jazzy, set a great mood, showed off her sound, and then she wailed this huge note, and JHud perked up, looked around, and went bam! Turned for her, and then she riffed down the last note so lovingly. Miley said she made the song seem retro and called her voice amazing. Blake loved that she made the song her own. And I think she's going to be one to watch. And in the pimp spot, we had John Miro. He was 31. He did Versace on the Floor by Bruno Mars. And from the first phrase he started singing, his voice was stellar. And Bruno isn't an easy artist to sing. He's so high and so clear. But he came out and just performed this song so well. I mean, and he really performed it. He had some little moves going on. He was really emoting the lyrics. The voice was just on point. I was loving everything about this performance. His stage presence was great. Blake called him an incredible singer. JHud told him that she didn't want it to end and she felt like she was at his concert. Adam told him he has a tremendous voice and talked about how he moves on stage. Of course, this was a 4-chair turn. Did I say this was a 4-chair turn? John chose Adam because he represents the genre most close to his own. Woo! What an exciting night! Tomorrow night is the last night of the Blind, so come and enjoy it with Robert Anton. I will see you then. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for your thumbs. I am out.